Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Bibbity Bobbity Books. My name is Ellie and this is going to be my autumn book releases video. So in this video I have compiled a list of a load of books that are coming out in the next few months that have caught my attention. They're mostly fantasy and horror. I feel like we're getting towards spooky season, so a lot of the more darker, spookier book releases are coming out and it's very exciting. So yeah, I've got quite a few to chat you through today, so I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm just going to jump straight in with the first book. So although we do have a lot of horror books on this list, we're actually starting off with a bit of a lighter one, and that is actually a middle grade story. So this is Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. This is the third book in this fantastic fantasy middle grade series. I have actually only read the first book in this series so far, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel like it's one of those middle grade stories where it could resonate with a lot of people. Obviously it's targeted at children because that's the target audience, but I do also think that adults and people of all different ages could really enjoy this story as well. It just has that certain feel to it, and yes, I'm excited that the next installment is coming out. I do need to catch up on this one, but that's quite good because it means that I'll be able to binge a few in a row, which is always fun. So if you haven't heard of this series before, the first book follows our main character Amari, and she is a young girl and she is basically trying to find out what happened to her brother who went missing and is presumed dead, but she's never felt like that's the truth, and she kind of does some digging around and she finds out that he was actually a member of this Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, this kind of secret society as it were, and she decides to follow in his footsteps in the hopes that it will lead her to her brother, and she enters into these sort of trials really to try and win a place and become a member of this secret bureau. And she basically uncovers this fantastical world. She realizes that all manner of supernatural beings do actually exist and are being kept hidden from the public for their own safety, and so it's such a creative and fun fantastical world, and it has a lot of sort of tropes that we enjoy. You've got the sort of trial elements in there, you've got a main character who is a little bit on the back foot because she's never actually heard of any of these magical creatures, she's never realised that any of this exists, whereas a lot of the other children that she's competing against have known about this for a long time. So you've got that kind of underdog sort of trope in there, and also this kind of magical school type setting, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue on with this series, and this next instalment will be coming out on the 29th of August, so not too long to wait. The next book on my list is a horror book that's coming out on the 3rd of September, and that is Haunt Sweet Home by Sarah Pinsker. So this one initially grabbed my attention because of the cover. I don't know, it just draws me in, and I think this one sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just going to read you a little bit from the synopsis. So it says, when aimless 20-something Mara lands a job as the night shift production assistant on her cousin's ghost hunting / home makeover reality TV show, she quickly determines her new role will require a healthy attitude towards duplicity. But as she hides fog machines in the woods and improvises scares to spook new homeowners, a series of unnerving incidents on set and a creepy new co-worker force Mara to confront whether the person she's truly been deceiving and hiding from all along is herself. This just sounds so fun. It's got that trope of working on a TV set and how they're sort of pulling off these pranks and trying to spook the people who are on this reality TV show, but then weird things start happening, so I can imagine our main character isn't sure whether things are actually going wrong or if it's part of the show, and I really enjoy all those kinds of tropes, so I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. The next book is Immortal Dark by T.S. Giermer. So this one comes out on the 3rd of September, and I think a lot of people are going to be really hyped for this one because it's described as the cruel prince meets ninth house in this dangerously romantic dark academia fantasy where a lost heiress must infiltrate an arcane society and live with the vampire she suspects kills her family and kidnapped her sister. So I feel like there are a lot of buzzwords in there that are going to get a lot of people very excited. I know The Cruel Prince and Ninth House were really big popular books, and it's got that dark academia setting that I know is super popular, and it's got a vampire in there, and of course it's a romantasy. So I really wanted to highlight this one in this video because I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this one. I am probably going to wait and hear some reviews start to come out before I pick up this one, just because I have a little bit of a hit and miss relationship with romantasy books. I feel like the last year or so I really haven't enjoyed that many romantasy books that I've read, and I just don't really think it's a genre that I can resonate with anymore, that I particularly enjoy. There are a few exceptions, and in the past I have really enjoyed romantasy, so you know, I am open to it. So I think I'll wait and sort of see what other people start saying about this book before I try this one. But if it really leans into the dark side, then I probably will pick it up, because I do like things that have that sort of dark twist to them. Okay, so the next book that I wanted to mention is The World Is Not Yours by Kemi Ashingiwa. This one is coming out on the 10th of September, and it is a queer space horror, and it's also a novella, so it's a nice short one. And I was very intrigued by this one as soon as I saw the cover, because honestly the cover is one of the most unsettling things that I've seen in a while. Just the grin that is on the face of the person on this front cover, it just is, it gives me the chills, and so I'm excited to try this one because hopefully the book will also give me the chills. So again, I'm just going to read you a little bit from the synopsis of this one. So it says, after fleeing her controlling and murderous family with her fiancé Vin, Amara embarks on a colonization project along with her childhood friend Jessie. The planet, beautiful and lethal, produces the Grey, a self-cleaning mechanism that scientists are certain only attacks invasive organisms consuming them. Humans have been careful to do nothing to call attention to themselves until a rival colony wakes the Grey. As Amara and Vin and Jessie work to carve out a new life together, each is haunted by past betrayals that surface, expounded by the need to survive the rival colony and the planet itself. There's more than one way to be eaten alive. I think this one sounds like so much fun. I really enjoy books that have a setting where there is an invasive sort of ecosystem or invasive plant life, that kind of thing, and I'm really hoping that this book leans into that. Yeah, it's got a really interesting idea, the fact that this planet has a self-defense mechanism in a way. They've got this, the Grey as it's called, and how that kind of cleanses the planet, but I can imagine that being incredibly deadly if they start to think that humans are a problem and something that need to be cleaned. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this one, and I really hope that it lives up to my expectations. The next book that I wanted to mention is one that I've seen quite a lot of buzz about. I've seen quite a few people talking about this book, so I think it's going to be quite a popular one, and that is So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This one is coming out on the 10th of September, and I feel like you can probably tell from the cover that this is a vampire horror story. I feel like, yeah, the artwork on the front there is a bit of a giveaway as to what to expect with this story. So this one follows a main character called Sloane, who is going on a surprise weekend getaway with her best friend Naomi. It's been organised by her husband, and they go away on this retreat. And then it says on the synopsis, Sloane anticipates a weekend of wine tastings and cosy robes and strategic avoidance of issues she'd rather not confront, like her husband's repeated infidelity. But when they arrive at their rental cottage, it becomes clear Naomi has something else in mind. She wants Sloane to stop letting things happen to her and for Sloane to really live. So Naomi orchestrates a wild night out with a group of mysterious strangers, only for it to take a horrifying turn that changes Sloane and Naomi's lives literally forever. I think this one is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a little bit saucy, a little bit dark and horrifying, obviously, and yeah, I'm intrigued to see how that one is received, because I know there's been a lot of buzz, so let's hope it lives up to everyone's high expectations. The next book that I have on my list is An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson, and this one comes out on the 17th of September. So this one is by the author of The Year of the Witching and House of Hunger, which are two books that I know were incredibly well received and a lot of people really love. So I wanted to highlight that they've got a new book coming out soon. I personally, well, I've only read House of Hunger and it didn't quite work for me. So I'm a little bit cautious going into this one. I'm not quite sure if this author's writing style is a good fit for my personal taste, but we shall see. I think the premise sounds very intriguing, so I'll wait and see what other people say and I might well end up picking this one up. So this one says, Lennon Carter's life is falling apart. Then she gets a mysterious phone call inviting her to take the entrance exam for Drayton College, a school of magic hidden in a secret pocket of the savannah. Lennon has been chosen because, like everyone else at the school, she has the innate gift of persuasion, the ability to wield her will like a weapon, using it to control others and, in rare cases, matter itself. After passing the test, Lennon begins to learn how to master her devastating and unsettling power, but despite persuasion's heavy toll on her body and mind, she is wholly captivated by her studies, by Drayton's lush, moss-draped campus, and by her brilliant classmates. But even more captivating is her charismatic advisor Dante, who both intimidates and enthralls her. As Lennon continues her studies, her control grows and she starts to uncover more about the secret world she has entered into, including the disquieting history of Drayton College and the way her mentor's tragic and violent past intertwines with it. She is increasingly disturbed by what she learns, for it seems that the ultimate test is to embrace absolute power without succumbing to corruption, and it's a test she's terrified she is going to fail. Okay, so there's quite a lot about that synopsis that is calling to me. I think the main thing that I am intrigued by is the actual setting of Drayton College and the fact that it's described as moss-draped. As I've said before, I really enjoy settings that involve like nature going rampant, you know, nature taking over, that kind of thing, and it sounds like this might have that kind of a setting, so I am actually very intrigued by this one. Next up we have A Dark and Drowning Tide by Alison Saft, and this one is also released on the 17th of September. So I think I've mentioned this one before because I saw this cover fairly early on in the year when I was looking at releases that were coming out in 2024, and it instantly grabbed my attention because I think the cover is so haunting and so beautiful and so gothic, and so I have mentioned this one before on my channel as an anticipated release, and yeah, I think it's going to be quite popular as well because it seems to have a lot of tropes that people really enjoy. So in this one, a sharp-tongued folklorist must pair up with her academic rival to solve their mentor's murder in this lush and enthralling sapphic fantasy romance. So a lot of popular buzzwords in there. We've got academic rivals, we've got a murder, so a bit of a mystery element in there, and we've got a sapphic fantasy romance. So I feel like this is going to tick a lot of people's boxes, and I'm intrigued to see how it is pulled off and if it works for me. And the next book that I've got on my list is the latest release by Brum, which is a book called Evil in Me. This one again also comes out on the 17th of September. It seems like a popular date for new releases. And yeah, I have a bit of a hit and miss relationship with Brum. I really enjoy their artwork. If you don't know, Brum is an artist and he includes a lot of his art within his novels, which just adds to the experience for me. And I first read Krampus by Brum and I really enjoyed it. I had such a great time with that book and I really thought this was going to be an author for me. But then the next one that I picked up was The Child Thief, and that was the other extreme. It just did not work for me. So now I'm a bit confused. I really hope that I enjoy more books from him because I really want to. I've heard a lot of good things about Slewfoot by Brum and I am actually planning to pick that one up soon. It's going to be in my sort of autumn TBR, and hopefully I get on with that one a bit better. But this one sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So this is a novel of possession, damnation and rock and roll, where one woman must get the world singing in order to save her soul. So I think this one sounds a little bit tongue-in-cheek, maybe a little bit lighter than some of Brom's other books, because he is known for having very, very dark themes and really leaning into, you know, some horrific things. So maybe this one will be a little bit more fun, a little bit more light-hearted, and I'm intrigued. The next book that I have on my list is Devils Kill Devils by Johnny Compton. This one is coming out on the 24th of September. And again, it's got a really striking cover. Honestly, I'm such a sucker for a good cover. But yeah, this one is very interesting sounding. I'm just going to read you from the synopsis again. It says, Sarita has been watched over by her guardian angel her entire life. She calls him Angelo and keeps him a secret, but secrets can't stay buried forever. When Angelo murders someone she loves, Sarita begins to see what's really lurking in the shadows surrounding her, and she will have to embrace the evil within if she hopes to make it out alive. And then it says, Devil Kills Devils is perfect for fans of Sylvia Moreno Garcia's Certain Dark Things and Southern Gothic horror. Johnny Compton brings his trademark terror and dread that readers fell in love with in The Spite House to a new roster of monsters, angels, devils, vampires, and a heart-pounding race to save the world. Doesn't that sound fantastic? I really enjoy the trope of having like a child who thinks she's got this like guardian angel, or who can see someone that no one else can see. I just feel like that's a really creepy concept, and so yeah, I'm really interested in this one, and hopefully it is as creepy as I want it to be. Next up we have The Bog Wife by Kay Chronister. This one is coming out on the 1st of October, and if you know me, I've mentioned it quite a few times, but I really enjoy like nature horror, nature corrupting the body, fungi horror, anything like that. And just look at this cover. This cover screams all of those things, so I really hope it delivers. And it sounds like this one is a bit weird, and again, I often quite like weird horror books. So in this story, it follows a family. It follows the Haddesley family, who for the longest time have tended this cranberry bog, and in exchange, the bog sustains them. So it says, the staunch seasons of their lives are governed by strict covenant that is renewed each generation with the ritual sacrifice of their patriarch, and in return, the bog produces a bog wife. Brought to life from vegetation, this woman is meant to carry on the family line, but when the bog fails or refuses to honour the bargain, the Haddesleys face an unknown future. And then skipping ahead a little bit, it says, brimming with aching loss and the universal struggle between honouring family commitments and the drive to strike out on one's own, The Bog Wife is a haunting invocation of the arcane power of the habits and habitats that bind us. Doesn't that sound so bizarre? But also I'm just so intrigued and I want to find out how it all works. You know, the fact that you have this bog and the family who have a pact with the bog, and that they create this bog wife who kind of continues on the family, but then something's not quite right, and oh, it sounds so like weird in the best way, and hopefully it will be really atmospheric with the descriptions, the fact that, you know, this bog wife is created from the vegetation. I think it's going to be a real unsettling and atmospheric read. So yeah, I'm very excited for that one. Next up we have William by Mason Coyle. So this is a book that is described as an up all night slice of Halloween horror, perfect for fans of Stephen King, Black Mirror and Frankenstein. I mean, that is quite a bold claim, isn't it? So this one is actually coming out on the 10th of September. So sorry, this was in chronological order, but I obviously just got this one wrong. So this one's coming out on the 10th of September, but it sounds like it's going to be really good. So in this story, we follow an engineer called Harry, and he has actually created artificial intelligent consciousness, and he's created this kind of half-formed robot who he names William. But then it says there's something strange about William. It's not that his skin feels like balloon rubber or is the colour of curdled milk, nor is it the thick gurgling laugh or the way his tongue curls towards his crooked top teeth. It's the way he looks at Henry's wife, Lily. Henry created William, but he is starting to lose control of him. As William's fixation with Lily grows and threatens to bring harm to their house, Henry has no choice but to destroy William. But William isn't gone. Filled with jealousy for humanity, for its capacity to love and create life, William starts to haunt the house. He lurks behind each locked door. You can hear him muttering in the eaves of the attic. He is whispering in Henry's head, and he will be the one to take control. Ooh, that sounds so good. Okay, and the final book on my list is a good one. We're ending with a bang, and that is The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. So this is the third book in the Bloodsworn saga, which is a epic fantasy series that's Norse inspired and has dragons. I feel like that's all you really need to know. And this one is coming out on the 24th of October, I believe. And yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I have actually only read the first book in this series, but I did really enjoy it, and I've been kind of waiting for more of the books to come out so that I can binge the series, because I feel like with epic fantasy there's so many details that I feel like you kind of need to go from one to the other to have the full experience. And if I was to read them as they are published, then I would just forget all the details, and then I would have to reread the previous books as the new ones come out. So I'd rather kind of wait at least until several books have come. So I've read the first one just to see if I'll enjoy it, and I did. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to collecting them and kind of giving them a big binge when I'm in the mood. But yeah, this series was great if you enjoy sort of Norse inspired fantasy, and it's also got a lot of really sort of epic kind of female badass characters. So if you enjoy that trope, then I think you'll really enjoy this series. And if it's multi-perspective, it follows different characters and you kind of follow them on their journeys and find out their motivations, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm very much looking forward to that one. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. I really hope that you found this useful. Please let me know if you're looking forward to any of these books coming out, if you've pre-ordered any of them, or if there's any that you think that I should prioritise or you think that I would particularly enjoy. I would love to have a chat with you down in the comment section below. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, whatever it is you are doing, wherever you are, and I'm sending you a lot of love. And yeah, don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I guess I'll see you next time with another video. Bye!